Is December 19th, 2023, and I am in LA. Uh, so here's some update news. What's been going on for the past week and a half, besides a whole lot of chaos. So this right here, that's Pickline. That was put in on Thursday morning, and Thursday afternoon, I received the first infusion of this oxaliplatin chemotherapy, having started the chemo pill that morning. So suffice to say, it's been a very challenging few days since. What to say about it? Well, wouldn't wish it on anybody, that's for sure. So what's happened is around the 12th of December, I started having bloody stools again, and that obviously told me that all my wiggle room was gone. I couldn't really futz around much longer, trying to figure out what to do, and what was being offered was this chemotherapy starting on the 14th, and this chemo will be 6 infusions, well, 5 more, and they are they're 3 weeks apart. This chemo, it came with, it should have warned me right away. It came with an infusion of some anti-nausea medicine, and which has been working for the most part, but it caused all sorts of. I had to pretty much stop everything I was doing, because the first 48 hours were pretty hellish, and I had to figure out of all the different protocols I was doing and these new protocols, what was causing all the stuff that sucked, basically. You know, not the least of which was too many bodily fluids going out of places they shouldn't be. Pretty much. And so and slowly I've started back up some of the things I've been doing. I won't be able to continue the alkalinity because the chemo it's acidifying your system, you know what I mean? So it's not gonna the alkalinity thing isn't gonna work. Um, yeah. So there is I've mentioned before that there is an immunotherapy drug that is limited in its availability, but this drug has been tested in a few key studies and proved to be one of the most successful studies in the history of medicine. And it happens to be a drug that's specifically for the and effective on the cancer that I'm dealing with, this adenocarcinoma of the rectum. And stuff, they had small studies, but all the people, in the studies were cured. This drug is most likely going to, it's been approved by the FDA, but it's still undergoing uh, limited testing. And one of the main places in the country that testing is centered is this Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York. And so I've actually been in touch with them, and I've been waiting, back and forth with with emails and PDFs and all this sort of stuff. Um, I was turned down for one study, but for a 1/2 hour, they were talking about flying me out there and giving me an infusion. Um, but then I was given the name of another doctor in that department that I might be able to work with. And what's really unique about this doctor is that he's the one that found Keytruda. Apparently, he pioneered the drug that I had the last time. That the final treatment that I had for the throat and neck cancer, and which I have to say is, I'm still clear. Um, that it celebrate celebrate the little things. Um, so I've been in touch with them, but I haven't heard back from them uh, since last Friday. So, and they asked me if I'd started treatment already, um, and I had to tell them yeah, because actually had to start it the day before, because I can't just do nothing at this point. And the difference between these two treatments is the immunotherapy is just, it's a standalone treatment. There's no, once you do that, that's all you have to do. Plus the fact that the immunotherapy has virtually no side effects other than a little bit of fatigue. Um, so I mean, your appetite is normal. Everything is normal. Um, as opposed to what I'm dealing with, um, these chemotherapies, followed by they're talking about doing a chemo with a radiation, and followed by surgery. And um, I kind of buried the lead the last time I posted about this. Um, the the radiation that they were proposing would essentially, unless precautions are taken, would essentially render me sterile and um, what do you call it? Mutate, potentially mutate my DNA. Now, I'm 66 years old. Chances are I'm probably not going to procreate, but you know, I, I wasn't down with the getting sterilized thing right off the bat, just for cause, you know. So that's one of the main reasons why I had them flip the the projected um, treatment so that the radiation thing wouldn't be the first thing that I deal with, and that because my thinking is that if I can somehow hold off the spread of this cancer for 6 months to a year or so, that this immunotherapy drug will be readily available and become the standard of care for this illness that I'm dealing with. And I feel pretty lucky right now to have the options that I have. I mean, you know, I saw another woman's videos last night who is she's dealing with terminal cancer, and hadn't really watched anybody else's videos in a while, and it gave me some perspective about what it is that I'm doing here and what I'm trying to do with this, both to keep my peeps informed, but also to keep a record. Um, but I recognize that a lot of what it is that I'm dealing with is not something that most people can handle, and and it's, I wouldn't want to handle it if it wasn't happening to me, you know. So I don't know that I'd be tuning in. That said, I want to I want to say thank you again to everyone that's donated time, effort, energy, money, resources, whatever kind to, and believe it or not, those friggin' thoughts and prayers, baby, because it all matters. It all counts. I'm not discounting any of it, and so I realize I'm kind of all over the map here, and one of the reasons why I'm this is the most talking I've done in a couple of days, and um, I'm actually overheating. Um, this is one of the side effects. Probably going to need to stretch out in a minute. So, still in the acclimating phase of this whole thing, getting used to whatever the new normal is going to be. The first 24 hours was, it seemed like every time I turned around, I started hiccuping. I fell asleep hiccuping. I woke up hiccuping, and yeah, everything was all over the map. Um, without getting too into the details. Uh, so I'm in the van in part because um, when I heard back from the people in New York, I saw a possibility that um, I could have that immunotherapy drug um, as a possible treatment. But to do so, I would have to uh, fly out to New York and make that happen. Make myself available for that to happen, which kind of would, you know, totally preclude everything that's going on here in LA for me, medically. Um, would pretty much make everything I'm doing here superfluous. Um, so with that possibility of winning the lottery, uh, I realized the best move would be just to, try to stick it out for just to see if I could handle it in the van while I'm going through these early stages. Keep myself clean and whatnot. Um, and I'm glad to say that the even though it's been challenging, the challenges haven't been um, so overwhelming that I couldn't, I can't push through. Um, although I have to tell you, there was that morning after the first infusion, man, I was like, 3 more months of this, really? I don't know if I can do that. Um, so there's a there's a possibility I could be going to New York. I don't know what percentage, how great that possibility is, but at least it's something. And at the same time, uh, the place that I planned to rent in Venice Beach, um, because everything was all up in the air, I couldn't, in good conscience, just go ahead and put down the limited funds that I had, because we didn't. the way it works apparently there is you have to rent for 3 months is the smallest amount of time, and I didn't want to go into that arrangement without the money up front in my possession. And so that's why I asked for, $10,000 up front. I thought, 2,500 for the security deposit and 2,500 a month for 3 months. But we didn't raise that initially. I think I just hit 10,000 right now, like over the weekend. Um, but like I said, I'm kind of holding out hope for this New York thing to come through because that would be such a game changer, such a wonderful solution to all of this. Um, so I'm okay with enduring a little inconvenience um, for another little while here, um, till things settle down and I figure out, you know, we figure out what the next steps are. So I'm not sure if I'm making any kind of sense here, but I do feel like I'm a bit. This drug kind of has me a bit hyped up. When I start talking, it feels like I'm, you know, um, getting hyped up, and so I know I'm putting out more energy now than I need to be. So I'm gonna cut it short. I hope this, helps some folks understand where we're at right now. Um, it's been 4 years. 4 years ago, I hiked up to the top of the mountain in Big Sur. Um, 2 months before I began the cancer treatments and did my first survey of the subtle energy field up there. And here we are 4 years later, still dealing with the cancer, but um, at least I made it to the mountain, right? And I hope that inspired some people. Hope I hope that whatever it is that I'm doing inspires somebody to great things. You know, um, I feel very optimistic about my options and my choices and um, my outlook, my prognosis, all that kind of stuff. I feel very lucky that, unlike that sister I was watching yesterday, what I'm dealing with is curable. And while it may be very challenging and it may suck, I see a future um, ahead of me. And yeah, so anyway. Oh, I have some good news. Yesterday, I was able to have my first full meal since last Thursday, and that told me that I think I'm going to be okay. Um, the fact that I can, eat a whole meal and have it work its way through like almost like normal, um, after even with this nausea and stuff I'm dealing with, it's, I'm feeling really good about where things are. I talked to my sister Chris last night about my last blood work, and she said it looks like your system is gearing up, is is showing signs of reacting to the cancer, of trying to fight the cancer. And that was like music to my ears, you know. I'm so lucky to have a sister who's a medical professional, you know, an RN. So you can parse all this on tests and whatnot, you know. So anyway, that's what's up. Um, Stay tuned. I'll try to post another couple of days when I have more information. I have a feeling I probably won't be hearing from the people in New York until after Christmas. But the good thing is, at least I have that infusion in me, and hopefully it's having an effect on stopping the bleeding and healing this sumbitch, which is kind of the point, after all, right? We're not just going through this just to go through it, right? Or are we? Anyway, love and light. Are you sure?